Another Packers season has come to an end, and the team that is not named the Green Bay Packers is hoisting the Super Bowl trophy for 10th time in 10 years, but that's all right. Today we're going to be talking about the most improved Packers from the 2020 season, so those who had much more of an uprise from the 2019 to 2020 season, players who were finally able to get something clicking or who finally got their opportunity. Let's start off with tight end Robert Tonyan. Now, this is not a case of something clicked. This is, like I mentioned, just getting more opportunities. He was behind Jimmy Graham his whole career. He's been with the Packers since 2018. You can recall his great long bomb touchdown against the Seattle Seahawks in 2018, wearing the color rush white Reese's jersey, looking good. Robert Tonyan, he finally got his opportunity, and he took advantage of it. 11 touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers. Absolutely great. He always found a way to get open on all of his touchdowns. It never was like a huge contested catch or anything. He was just always wide open. Aaron Rodgers found him. Not sure how he was able to get open all the time. I don't know if that's the genius of Nathaniel Hackett and Matt LaFleur, or if he's really that just good of a player or faster against middle linebackers. But Bobby Tonyan coming in as a tight end too. We had no idea really, is he going to be the starting tight end going into the season? We thought maybe Jay Sternberger starts over him. But he finally got his opportunity, and I'm glad he was able to benefit from him. And we'll see how much he gets paid this offseason. He'll be with the Packers. I guarantee you he won't be going to any other team. I'm looking forward to see what he can do in these next few years. Next up, we have another player who finally got his opportunity, and that is Marquez Valdez. I'm going to bang the drum all day for this kid, even though he's 10 years older than me. But there's a lot of people that hate him. They don't like his inconsistencies. They can't stand the drops. They want to focus on his Week 8 fumble that happens all the time in the NFL. I love Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's a deep threat. He had one of the greatest games of his season, the conference championship game. You can't say that for nearly every other single player, but Marquez Valdez-Scantling in these two playoff games. I think the most important thing he showed in the playoffs was that he can be an intermediate threat too, so he can do more than just the deep routes. So it'll be interesting. I think he gets a lot more involvement in the offense next year. But Marquez Valdez-Scantling, heck of a year for him. So many touchdowns. He had an average of 20 yards per reception. Absolutely insane. He has that Rodgers trust. That's the most important thing. Excited to see what he can turn into in his contract year in 2021. Next up, we have Rashod Gary. Now, this is just like the past two, finally getting his opportunity. He was never on the field last year because Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith, it's hard to take them off the field. But Rashod finally got his opportunity. He really came on at the right time. I mean, he's had his greatest performance against the Rams. He had his some great performance near the end of the year against the Titans. So I'm so excited. I mean, we got another elite pass rusher on our side. It's the only at the start. He hasn't nearly reached his peak potential yet. So I'm really happy for Rashod Gary, and he's quickly becoming one of my favorite players just because of all the people last year when they decided I'm going to judge on 1 year, even though I know nothing. And Rashod Gary is a bust, according to me. So, I love that I have this sword with Rashod Gary. Every time he makes a play, it's like, yay, a Packers player made a play, and also the haters were wrong. 2 more to go. Let's start with Darnell Savage. Another first-round draft pick from 2019. This is one thing with Ryan Gutekunst. The later rounds of his draft, the third round is his kryptonite, but the first round, he seems to hit every single time. 2018, you had Jair Alexander. 2019, Rashod Gary, Darnell Savage. We'll see what happens with unflinchable 2020 first round pick. I don't want to get people angry in the comments about my opinions on that pick. But Darnell Savage really came on this year again. 2018, before we drafted him, I mean, the safety position was in shambles. We had Tramon Williams, Clinton Dix, Demarius Randall, both traded away. So we have Henry Black and Kentrell Brice. That's his name. I'll never forget that touchdown he gave up in the tie to Minnesota in Week 2 of 2018. Kentrell Oh, man, that was a rough day for him against Adam Thielen, but that's besides the point. Darnell Savage, you can appreciate that we have a much better safety right now. I mean, ever since Week 8, him and Adrian Amos really turned on the gas right when we needed it near the latter half of the season, really boosted our defense. And earlier in the year, we saw him get burnt. I don't think it was necessarily because he was speeded or outmatched, but just because he followed the wrong assignment or he was coming up too quick. But he really turned that off. He was able to eliminate that from his game, and he was able to become a much better player in 2020. And finally, we have Billy Turner, the left tackle, the right guard, the right tackle, just such a versatile piece who really struggled at right guard, starting at right guard all of 2019. You move him over to right tackle, and he did so much better this year, a great piece of that offensive line, and he's one of the main reasons we had one of the best offensive lines in the league this year. You pair him up with, David Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins, Corey Linsley, then, you got a pretty okay piece of undrafted free agent turning into a starting offensive lineman, and it was a pretty good day at it too, and then Billy Turner as well. A lot of people were concerned, why are we paying this guy so much money out of free agency, but he showed why this season at right tackle, and then he stepped in pretty well for David Bakhtiari, except in the game that it mattered, but that's pretty much everybody on this team. There you have it, my 5 most improved players from the Packers in 2020. There you have it, my 5 most improved Packers players from the There you have it, my 5 most improved Packers from the 2020 season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hopefully, we'll be sitting here at the same time next year talking about the 5 players that improved so much that they won their 5th Super Bowl reign in Packers history. Thanks, everybody, for watching. That's all I got for you today. As always, go Pack, go.